There are a lot more studies looking at the timing of food intake and its association with obesity. The timing of the main meal is predictive for weight loss during a 20-week dietary intervention, indicating that a high-calorie breakfast is associated with significantly more weight loss than a high-calorie dinner. There are actually a lot of studies on this, so let's just review them. This meta-analysis and systematic review found that distributing energy intake with a focus on earlier intake resulted in significantly greater weight loss and improvements in your HOMA-IR, which is a measurement of insulin resistance, fasting glucose, and LDL cholesterol. Another study done in overweight and obese women indicated that a high-calorie breakfast resulted in significantly reduced energy intake at dinner, and appears to be beneficial and a useful alternative for the management of obesity and metabolic syndrome. Another study looking at the timing of food intake and how it predicts weight loss effectiveness indicate that late lunch eaters lost less weight and displayed slower weight loss during a 20-week trial than early eaters, despite having extremely, if not identical, energy intake, diet composition, estimated energy expenditure, appetite hormones, and sleep duration. Understand this is estimated energy expenditure, and did not take into account any increases or decreases in physical activity energy expenditure, indicating that those who ate food earlier in the day likely expended more energy through physical activity throughout the rest of the day. One study looking at the association of night eating habits with metabolic syndrome, indicating that night eating was associated with an odds ratio for obesity of 1.62, indicating they were substantially more likely to develop obesity compared to those who did not eat late at night. A study looking at the potential association between breakfast skipping and concomitant late night dinner eating in a Japanese population indicates that habitual breakfast skipping that is combined with late night dinner eating may represent poorer eating behavior than skipping breakfast alone and not eating food late at night, and is associated with a greater risk of metabolic syndrome. Essentially, those who skip breakfast and eat a late night dinner are more likely to exhibit poor dietary quality and habits, such as consuming many ultra-processed foods later at night. If we look at the time of day of food intake and how it influences overall intake in humans, it indicates that reducing your energy intake at any portion of the day can reduce overall caloric intake, whether this comes at breakfast, lunch, or dinner. But intake in the morning is particularly satiating and is more effective at reducing the total amount of food ingested for that day, and the intake of late night snacks lacks the satiating value and can result in a greater overall energy intake. This study indicates that it doesn't mean that you can't lose weight if you skip breakfast and eat late at night, but it's probably going to be a little bit less efficient and effective. If you look at the timing of daily calorie loading and how it affects appetite and hunger responses, participants consuming the morning loaded diet reported significantly lower hunger, favoring more favorable outcomes when it comes to weight loss and appetite suppression. There are a myriad more studies on this topic, but these studies indicate that timing of food intake may favorably alter your energy expenditure and appetite, and on average, those who eat more of their food in the morning and less at night have more favorable outcomes. With that being said, for some people, this dietary pattern simply is not feasible, and some might even find that they eat more food if they eat a larger calorie breakfast than if they skip breakfast. However, I do think trying to increase the amount of energy that you consume at breakfast is an interesting experiment that many people can try to see how it alters their energy intake and even their energy expenditure, and overall sensations of well-being by the end of the day and weight loss outcomes. With that being said, if you would like an individualized approach to your nutrition and lifestyle to optimize your health, energy, and body composition, send me a DM to sign up for coaching.